Hello everyone, we are live. Hello everyone, my name is Kieran. Welcome back to Red Devil Weekly, and we are here to preview the Aston Villa versus Manchester United game. I'm looking forward to it. I really am looking forward to it. It's a big game. It's a big game in the calendar. It's a big game for our top four hopes. A few results have gone our way. I think if I'm a positive man, you look at that Arsenal result yesterday, and actually it wasn't too bad of a result for us. Obviously it would have been better if Arsenal got all 3 points, but actually a point dropped or 2 points dropped from Leicester is also decent. You have to look at it that way, and also we can still open up a gap on Arsenal, which is always good. Obviously Wolves as well got beaten in the 93rd minute by Sheffield United, which means a win for us tomorrow takes us 6 points ahead of Wolves as well. So we can put some clear water between us and the teams below in 6th, 7th and 8th, which is obviously always good. And also a win tomorrow will take us 1 point behind the top 4. I think that's the closest we've been to the top 4 in a while. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. And also at the Aston Villa are a team which, obviously, if they play on their if they turn up and they play a really good game, it's going to be difficult. But the way they're playing right now, we could really exploit them. We really could. Welcome Footy Live and welcome Liam. Thanks for joining, guys. Really appreciate it. Footy Live, by the way, thanks for joining, mate. He says, I will be doing call-ins at some point in this stream. Don't worry about that. So I will open up the call-in lines at some point, so don't worry about that. I will open them up. Liam says, great results for United and Wolves dropping points, and no, mate, is 5 points ahead of Wolves, not 6. Oh, right, okay, I did get that wrong. I apologise. Yeah, well, there you go. Well, still, 5 point gap is still a fairly decent sized gap anyway, so I'm happy with either of those, 5 or 6 points. But yeah, 5 point gap is juicy. It's a juicy gap. Welcome Edvin. Thanks for joining, mate. Long time no see. How you doing, my friend? Thanks for joining. So we're going to get straight into it. And the first team I want to talk about is Aston Villa. And Jack Grealish is the main man. The man who has been linked to Manchester United over the summer. Linked to Manchester United in January as well. And according to a lot of sources, one of Manchester United's primary targets for the summer transfer window. And listen, I'm going to say something a bit controversial about Jack Grealish. I don't really rate him. I don't rate Jack Grealish, I'm going to be honest. Now, this might come back to bite me. It might do. It might really come back to bite me. But I think he's a decent player for Aston Villa. I think he is a decent player. But for Manchester United, the only thing I could see him doing is bolstering our squad depth. I don't think he gets into our starting 11. I really don't. Especially the way they're playing right now. I really don't see him getting into our starting 11. For me, I just think he creates. He does create and he gets fouled loads. But I'm not sure whether he would fit into the way we play. And I'm not sure whether he'd get in over the players we've already got. Especially if we manage to keep Pogba and Matic and Bruno next season. Which obviously we're going to keep Bruno and Matic. Pogba's the only one that's a bit up in the air in the moment. But I don't think Jack Grealish is the one we should be realistically going for. I also think that even though he'd be good for squad depth, why would he want to leave Aston Villa if he knows he's just going to be on the bench for us? Like, why? What would be the point? He may as well move to a club a bit lower down where he knows he's going to get a lot of game time. He's going to be starting. He's going to be the main man. If he comes to Manchester United, he's just going to be a small cog in a big wheel. And he's going to be part of a squad, which obviously is great, but I think he's like 24, 25, somewhere around there. So he's getting to that age where he'll want to be playing, full football as much as possible. And I'm not sure we can realistically offer that with the team we've already got. So that's my opinion on Grealish. Footy Live says, I've told everyone it's a finally day shootout between us and Leicester. I agree. He also says Grealish and McGinn is a good partnership for a club like Aston Villa. And he also says Grealish is playing with championship players. He'll be better team with better players. And he can come in and rotate with Pogba and Bruno. Look, as I said, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind if he was a rotation option. But I just don't see him coming if that's all we can offer him. I really can't see Jack Grealish wanting to leave Aston Villa to come to Manchester United to sit on the bench. I can't see it, especially when he's 24, 25. If he was a kid, if he was 19, 20, maybe I could see that because he's got a long time left in his career, and if he saw the plan and knew that even though he'd be on the bench now, he'd become one of our main starters, that's different. But he's 24, 25. He wants to be playing regular first team football. And he's getting that with Aston Villa, and I believe he would get that with some smaller clubs in the Premier League or even around the world. But with Manchester United, I don't think that Jack Grealish is going to get that first team football that he wants. Edwin says, yeah, but who would buy him? I think Jack Grealish is a hot prospect. I think he's got a lot of clubs, I bet, who are looking at him, who are looking at wanting him. Because he is talented. You can't deny he's talented. You know, he's got good numbers. He's got good assist numbers. He creates lots of chances for Aston Villa. But I just don't think he'll want to sit on the bench at Manchester United. I really don't. And I think there will be clubs out there, definitely, 100% there'll be clubs out there who want to sign Jack Grealish apart from Manchester United. I can't see a world where nobody's looking at Jack Grealish other than Manchester United. And to be fair, it's only paper speculation as to whether we're looking at Jack Grealish. So for me, I don't know. I don't know. I just think that if he said, I'm going to come to Manchester United and be a rotation option and happily sit on the bench, I'd be happy with that. But I don't think that's why he'd want to come to Manchester United. He would want to start. He's hungry to start. He's 24, 25. You know, why would he just sit on the bench for us? I don't understand that. Issa, how you doing? Issa, thanks for joining. He says, rotation is a good call, but why fix something that isn't broken? Can't see Ole making any changes, but hope to play with the same intensity like the last few games. I agree, and we'll get on to the team selection in just a second, but if we play the same way we've been playing in the last few games, we'll win this game. We'll win this game comfortably, because we've been playing some superb football. Defensively, we've been a bit slack at times. We've been a bit poor. Harry Maguire has not had the best restart since, he hasn't had the best restart. Really only got a clean sheet against Brighton because they really didn't offer anything going forward. So yeah, Maguire hasn't had the best of restarts. And defensively, we haven't looked brilliant. We haven't. So that is one thing that's a little bit of a worry. But going forward, it just looks like every game we're always going to score more goals than the opposition. We always look more threatening. And that's a brilliant sign. Footy Live says, I think we'll just put Matic on Grealish and man-mark Grealish out of the game. Look, I hope that happens. I mean, obviously, someone like Ander Herrera in days gone by would have been the perfect player to put on Jack Grealish. This role is tailor-made for someone like him. Nemanja Matic, the only thing with him is, whilst he's playing some really, really good football, a man-marking job for Matic, he's not the most mobile of players. I think he's good at kind of, breaking up the play and sitting deep. But when he's having to follow a player around, I'm not sure whether he can perform that role. He can, but I'm not sure to what sort of quality he'll be able to perform that role. But maybe Solskjaer will go down that path, because I agree with you that if we do shut down Grealish, I think Aston Villa will create very little. He is their main guy. He's their talisman in that central attacking midfield role. He's the guy that makes them tick. If we shut him down, I don't think Aston Villa create much. So that's just me. But I think Grealish will definitely have a point to prove, especially with all this speculation going around. He'll have a point to prove. And he did well against us at Old Trafford. He scored that worldy goal at Old Trafford. And he was probably one of the man of the matches in that game. So he'll want a point to prove. He loves playing against Manchester United, it seems, and we'll have to watch out for him because he is a talent. Issa says, Grealish is a talent, but he's been carrying the Villa team this season. He's getting recognised, but he needs to move to another club to fulfil his potential. A move to Man United, we shall see. And look, I think a move to Manchester United right now, it kind of looks likely if you look at all the speculation, the fact that a move to Manchester United where young English players seem to be getting nurtured quite a lot. I think Grealish would see the value in this project. However, as I said before, I'm not sure whether he'll want to sit on the bench and be a rotation player. I think he'd want to go to Manchester United with the view of being a very integral part of the starting 11. I don't think he would want to come to Manchester United if he was told by Solskjaer, you're going to sit on the bench, mate. You're going to sit on the bench for like half the games this season. I don't think he would. Footy Live says, mate, who do you think we should look to buy for a partner Maguire at centre-back? And do you think long-term Luke Shaw will be our left-back? Or is it a position we need to look at? I think Luke Shaw's not done badly. I don't think Luke Shaw's done badly since the restart. I think that obviously he's still young. I think he's like 22, something like that. He's close to being the age of his number on the back of his shirt as well, I've just noticed. But I don't think he's done too badly. And he's got a lot of time to improve his game. I think there needs to be some improvement on his defensive games, because there's a lot of times where he gets caught out. He does get caught out a lot. He gets caught out up the pitch, and in games you do see it where sometimes if a team just switches the ball and plays the ball with a little bit of quality down that left side and Luke Shaw's out of position, they could be in. And it does seem that our left-hand side is where teams mostly get at us. And they usually put a few players on Luke Shaw because they know he's weak. They know he's not good. So that is something we need to fix, really. Obviously, you've got Brandon Williams at left back as well, who's another option. And I think Brandon Williams does look decent. He looks like he's coming through. He looks like he's got good work ethic. Defensively, again, I think he might have to kind of fix up a little bit on that. But there's definitely a future there for those guys. There definitely is. So I probably wouldn't look to bring in a left back at this moment in time. I don't think, out of all the positions on the pitch, I don't think that's a position we should be looking at strengthening as a priority right now. I think there's definitely different positions on the pitch we should be looking to strengthen. But I think if Luke Shaw and Brandon Williams, especially Luke Shaw, if we don't really see signs of improvement in the next kind of 2 seasons, maybe we then should look elsewhere, because fullbacks are very, very important. It seems like we've got the right back spot nailed down with Aaron Wan-Bissaka, one of the best right backs in the league, arguably on his day one of the best in the league. But Luke Shaw is a different story. He can't. I think attacking Luke Shaw isn't bad. He's actually been involved in quite a few chances we've created this season down that left hand side, but he gets caught out so many times. That does need addressing 100%. Footy Live says Kieran, Man United apparently offered by Borussia Dortmund 92.5 million for Sancho, but it will be paid in instalments over a 3-year period. Well, I'm not sure where you're getting that information from, but if it is true, I think I'm not surprised by that figure. I'm not surprised by it. I think paying it in instalments is probably better for the financial situation of the club at this moment, considering the coronavirus pandemic. But yeah, I'm not surprised by that figure. If anything, I think that figure is a little bit lower than I thought. I was thinking it was definitely going to be over 100 million that Dortmund were wanting for Jadon Sancho. Obviously, that is just an offer that you've stated there. They don't have to accept it, and they probably won't accept that offer. I don't see Dortmund accepting that type of offer for Jadon Sancho. I think they'll probably want more. But we'll have to wait and see. I think I'll definitely talk about Jadon Sancho in a transfer video on the channel very, very soon, because there seems to be a lot of information about potential Manchester United transfers coming in and coming thick and fast. So I'll definitely have to do one of them. But yeah, back to the game at hand. We've talked a little bit about Aston Villa. We've talked about, look, the way I think Aston Villa are going to set up, they're going to set up as a low block. They're going to try and break on the counter-attack. They've got a bit of pace there. They've got McGinn and Al Mohammadi, and players like this. I can't remember the other guy, the French guy. I can't remember his name. Trezeguet, that's it. They've got Trezeguet as well. So they've got some players who can cause problems for us on the counter-attack, and we have been known, especially after the restart, to be susceptible to the counter-attack. The goal we conceded against Norwich was a counter-attack. The goal we conceded against Spurs was a counter-attack. And the goal we conceded against Bournemouth was a counter-attack as well. We are susceptible to the counter-attack. So I think that is something that we've got to focus on, and that is something we've got to improve on. But Aston Villa are definitely going to look to exploit us on that counter-attack. So it's not going to be simple. It's not going to be straightforward at all. But we just got to do the best we can. We just got to shut their threats down. And as I said, I think if Grealish gets shut down, I think Aston Villa will have a very difficult time of it. But that's just me. You got it from the Daily Mail. Okay, fair enough. German insider, yeah. Oh, well, I don't know. You never know in these days. You never know what's true and what's not. But I'm going to go on to the Manchester United team selection now. I'm going to give you my predicted lineup for the game. And as Issa said, I don't think there's going to be many changes. I don't think there's going to be too many changes in this game. I think that we'll probably see. We'll probably see Eric Bailly come in for Victor Lindelof. He seemed like he was injured in the last game, and obviously Eric Bailly came in. Unfortunately, he made a bit of a costly error by the way he controlled the ball. But I do think Bailly's probably going to start ahead of Victor Lindelof just because Lindelof came off with an injury against Bournemouth. So I think that'll be one of the only changes really. I don't see him change the midfield, and I can't see him change the front three. We're playing so well. Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I don't see why he would change that. So I think we're going to stick with what we've got. So yeah, I think I'm going to go with the same starting 11 that started against Bournemouth, except Eric Bailly goes in for Victor Lindelof. That is my starting 11. I think it's going to be De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Bailly and Luke Shaw, Fernandes, Pogba and Matic, and Rashford, Martial and Greenwood. That's my starting 11. And I think, again, if we play like we did against Sheffield, like we did against Brighton, and like we did against Bournemouth, we will take Aston Villa apart. We will take them apart. I think the way we shift the ball, the way we, put pressure on the defences, the way we're so clinical at the moment. So clinical. Greenwood's on fire. Rashford obviously scoring that penalty. Apart from that, to be fair, he didn't do much in the game, but he still influences the game with his passing. And Martial as well influences the game. He scored that brilliant goal against Bournemouth. Everyone's on fire. Everyone's got such high confidence at the moment. Everyone's just on cloud 9 at the moment. And so I'm looking forward to this game. I feel like the players will be looking forward to this game as well. I just think everyone's so positive, so confident. And I don't see why you change that. I think if you've got a winning formula that seems to be working, stick with it. And I think Solskjaer will look to do that. The only downside, obviously, to this team right now is our lack of options on the bench. Dan James has come on quite a few times and hasn't been that impressive. And I think Dan James is unfortunate because I'm not sure whether he's just tired or whether he's just not as good of a player as we thought. But I just think that Dan James hasn't really done well when coming on, hasn't really affected games too much. And you think that Dan James is the perfect player to come on. He's quick, he's agile, he's got a bit of skill about him as well. He can, stretch the tired legs, stretch defences towards the end of the game. You think he's a perfect player, but for some reason he just hasn't been coming off. He hasn't been coming off at the moment. So it's annoying. It is annoying. And yeah, just the lack of quality in our depth right now. Obviously you have Pereira, Fred and McTominay on the bench. I don't know. That's the only worry for me, especially looking ahead to next season and looking to challenge. You need to have that sort of squad depth. And I think they're bringing the 5 subs rule for next season as well. So you will get hurt by the bigger teams, especially if you don't have that squad depth. So that's something we've got to look for. Dazza, how are you doing, Dazza? Thanks for joining, mate. Really appreciate it. Make sure you check out Dazza's Football Stand if you haven't already. And also welcome Derek. Thanks for joining. Welcome Derek Otieno, thanks for joining, really appreciate it. Make sure you leave a like, guys, if you haven't already, and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. We're only 1 subscriber away from 810 subscribers, so anything you guys can do to help me out with my target would be very much appreciated. Daz also says, this is a game we should win, but we can't underestimate these because they can easily nick a goal or two. They proved at Old Trafford, Daz, they proved at Old Trafford. Grealish, scoring a wonder goal. Mings obviously getting that goal, which we all were so confused by, but obviously he was onside. But yeah, Villa are no slouches. I think even in the game against Liverpool, if you guys watched that game, I certainly did. The game against Liverpool, Villa looked alright. They just couldn't, they just weren't clinical enough with the chances they created. But actually, they got to the edge of Liverpool's box quite a lot. They really did cause them some problems. So, to be honest with you, I think Villa are a force to be reckoned with. I think when they're on form, when they're hungry for it, they can really cause you problems. The only reason why I'm a little bit confident going into this game is the fact we're playing so well at the moment. And honestly, it's another one of those games where if we take our chances early, and I think we will create early chances, if we take them, we'll win this game. It's all about those early chances. If we let the game linger, I think Aston Villa grow into the game more and more, and it's gonna be difficult. Daz say it's a great feeling to reach a big milestone, isn't it? Yeah, of course. You know what it's like, Dazza. Obviously, congratulations as well for reaching 1,000 subscribers. Amazing achievement. Well done, teammate. Well done to you, and obviously all before your birthday as well. So congratulations, Daz. Really happy for you, mate. Really happy for you. Fully Live says Saint Maximin from Newcastle could be a good alternative to Sancho along with Traore. Saint Maximin does look good. He does look good player. Although I'm not sure if I'd bring him in for Sancho, because Sancho realistically is the player we want starting for Manchester United. And I'm going to say here, I'm blunt, I don't want Saint Maximin in a United shirt. I don't want him. I don't want him in a United shirt. Maybe as a backup option, but I don't want him starting in a Manchester United shirt. Traore is a different story. Traore does look very, very good. And he's got a lot of pace, very explosive. He's very creative. He can create a lot of chances. His partnership with Raul Jimenez is prolific this season. It has been. So I think he'd be a decent signing as well. I wouldn't rule him out. But obviously, it's going to be difficult to take him off Wolves as well. A fellow top 4 challenger, as it seems. But yeah, that's my kind of take on the game. I'm going to give you my score prediction right now. And then I'm going to open up the calling lines. And Footy Live is going to call in first, because I did promise him to call in first. So I'm going to open up the phone lines in just a minute. So don't call in yet. I'm going to give my score prediction right now. As I said, I feel somewhat confident going into this game. I do feel a bit cautious that Aston Villa that they're a test. They're going to be test. They're going to be a test. They're going to be difficult. I think if we shut down Grealish, we should be alright. If we shut down Grealish, we'll be fine. TTX and Imo Hersey, thanks for joining, guys. Really appreciate you joining, as always. Really appreciate it. TTX says we need a backup winger alongside Sancho. I'm thinking Chuck Wayuzi. Please tell me if I'm spelling. I bet I've butchered that. I've absolutely butchered that. But I know who you mean, TTX, and he looks decent. He looks a decent player. I'm not gonna lie. He does look decent. Maya Mahersey says Sancho and Grealish, and he goes with a 7-1 win to Manchester United. I love that from Maya Mahersey. Love the positivity and the confidence. But anyway, back to my score prediction. I'm gonna go with a 2-0 win to Manchester United. I think it's going to be tight at times, but if we take our chances early on in the game, we'll be fine. We'll be absolutely fine. So I'm going to go with a 2-0 win to Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes getting on the score sheet once again, and I'm going to go with Marcus Rashford scoring as well. So I'm going to go with Rashford and Bruno getting on the score sheet for Manchester United in a 2-0 win. And that is a massive game. This is a massive, massive game for our top 4 hopes. If we win it, you feel like we're in the ascendancy, especially with the fixtures that Leicester have got to play, the fixtures that Chelsea have got to play. They're not easy fixtures, and also, if we do win this game, it continues the fact that we've got top 4 in our own hands, because as long as we beat Leicester on the final day, that's the main thing. And also, in this game, it gives us a good opportunity to potentially gain some goal difference on Leicester. And if by the time we play Leicester, we're still 1 point behind them, if we have better goal difference than them, all we have to do is not lose to them on the final day, which would be absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. So, yeah, I'm hoping we can do that. And but yeah, that's my score prediction. A 2-0 win to Manchester United. Dazza says 7-1, a bit optimistic. I know United won against Bournemouth 5-2, but come on. Mate, we're flying high right now. Or the confidence is sky high right now. I don't blame him. Pogba 2 goals. I'd love to see Pogba get on the score sheet. He hasn't scored since he's come back, so I'd love to see Pogba get on the score sheet. Edwin goes with a 3-0 to Manchester United. Love that from Edwin. Let me know, you guys, in the live chat and the comments below if you're watching as a video, what your score predictions are and who you think is going to be scoring the goals for Manchester United or Aston Villa. Let me know in the live chat, the comment section below. But the phone lines are now open, guys. They're now open. So if you want to call in, please do feel free to do so. And I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts on, the prediction, your prediction for the game. Who you think who's going to be important in this game for both sides, and how do Manchester United go about taking down Aston Villa and getting these big 3 points. And I'll also ask you some other questions as well. So don't feel free to call in if you like. But I did promise Kasim to get, I think, on first, I believe. So yeah, or at least I promised. Was it Footy Live? That's it, Footy Live. I think it's Kasim to get on first. So yeah. Also, hopefully, obviously, as you can see, I'm not holding the microphone this time, which is because I've turned up the microphone volume, which also means you might be able to hear some like tapping and stuff, which is fine, because it's a bit more susceptible to that. So I do apologise, but at least I don't have to hold the microphone and look like an idiot. But yeah, listen, if you want to call in, please do feel free to do so, and we'll have a chat. We'll have a chat about the game and everything, because I've given my thoughts. It's now over to you, and I want to hear what you guys have to say. But it's a big win. It's a big win for us if we get it. It's a big win. It's a massive, massive win. But it seems like every game we play right now is a massive win for us. And it seems that way because we're always playing after all the results have happened. So there's always loads of pressure on us. I don't know why that is, but it just has fallen that way. There's always loads and loads of pressure on us. And I don't understand it, but it is what it is, and we just got to deal with it. If we're going to get top 4, I think we have to win pretty well all of our games at the end of the season. Just hope. Discord, of course. Yeah, I'll call you on Discord then. I forgot you. I think we called on Discord last time. So yeah, I'll get you on Discord. I just have to open it up now. Yeah, so I've got Discord open, mate. So feel free to call in. And we'll have a chat. We'll have a chat about the game. And I'm looking forward to it, lads. I am looking forward to this game. Looking forward to it. And the thing is, as a Manchester United fan, it's almost a weird feeling sometimes to look forward to a game. We had so long where we've dreaded games. We've dreaded going into these sort of games because we've had absolutely no confidence in this team. And now, suddenly, we're looking forward to every game, and not only that, but we're confident going into every game that we're going to win the game. And whilst sometimes that is a bit dangerous, especially when you start underestimating opponents, being confident is massive. It's huge. But yeah, hopefully we've got Tom on the line. Tom, how you doing, mate?
Hello? Yeah, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. Thanks for coming on once again. Really appreciate it. And yeah, hope you're doing alright. Hope everything's going well with you.
Yeah. Fine. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing good, mate. I'm doing good. Looking forward to tomorrow, which is what we're going to talk about right now, of course. Firstly, what are your thoughts going into this game? How do you think the game's going to plan out?
Well, I think it's going to be obviously similar when you've got a main person that's a quality player on the opposition team. It's try and nullify them as much as you can. And when you've got a player like Grealish, they might not have world-class strikers, but he can create them. The attack probably 5 or 6 clear-cut chances on goal in a game, and it depends if Aston Villa can take them. And obviously against Liverpool, and Liverpool have, let's say one of the best defences in the world. They cut Liverpool open a couple of times, but they just couldn't find that killer goal. And obviously with the defence, if we defend the way we did against Bournemouth, I can see us at least conceding a couple of goals. Maybe I think I've been a bit over-ambitious there, but maybe at least a goal or 2. But it's going to be obviously a tough one. But if Matic plays the way that he has done, I think Matic can quieten Grealish to a certain point. But obviously with Grealish, he can play through the middle or he can play on the left, so it's kind of predicting where he's going to play. But I think if he plays on the left, then he's got to come up against Wan-Bissaka, which isn't an easy battle. And in midfield against Matic, it's not exactly an easy battle. So obviously, depends what tactic they're gonna deploy to play Grealish in what position. So
yeah, let's. I mean, look, I think I agree with you, mate. I think Grealish is going to be the main guy. He's the guy who I think if we stop Grealish, I don't see him creating too much. Edwin here says Villa are going to defend hard. Listen, I think they will. I'm going to ask you, Tom, this question as well. But in my opinion, I think Villa are going to set up to counter-attack, and I think we are susceptible on the counter-attack. How do you think Villa are going to approach the game?
they're going to go into it exactly the same as Bournemouth, but they won't obviously want the same result. The way Bournemouth set up, Bournemouth was, it's a case of teams are now just saying, sit back, and they're just saying, obviously, come on and try and break us down. That's obviously the goading from the opposition. And with a team like Villa, they have got, creative players in McGinn and Grealish, obviously, who can put a killer ball through for a quick player. And I think that, they have got some quick young forwards who can definitely, give people like Bailly a good foot race. But I think in terms of United, I think just don't play, don't have your centre backs up the field too much. Don't have them like where we have them near the halfway line most of the time. I'd say play them a bit more deeper, such as Maguire and Bailly. Play them a bit more deeper and let Wan-Bissaka and Shaw just bomb on a bit more forward. That's what I'd probably say to that, because then you can't get caught out with a ball over the top or anything, and then you're chasing back to your own goal. So in terms of that, I do think Villa are going to obviously, sit back, and it's going to be a case of, I think Villa are just going to try and get what they can in glimpses of the game and obviously play counter-attack. But another thing, I think they're just going to use Grealish as being the most foul player in the game. Obviously, we're going to give away a couple of fouls on him. It's going to be obvious about that, and it's a case of they're going to have a free pop in the box, a free cross into the box from a set piece, and they're going to have corners, and they've got obviously tall players like Mings and stuff who can obviously cause you a couple of problems in the box if you players like Harry Maguire.
Yeah, I think. Listen. I think Villa are going to be quite. They're going to look to use set pieces, similar to how Bournemouth and also Brighton use set pieces. And we've been shaky against set pieces. We have this season, especially when we had that really poor run under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We conceded the most set pieces and the most goals from set pieces in the Premier League. So that's definitely something that opposition teams are going to look to exploit. I think our defence against the counter-attack is going to be very, very important tomorrow. I just have a feeling that that's the way Aston Villa are going to set up. But in terms of Manchester United and the way they're going to set up, looking at the team selection, is there anything you would change from the Bournemouth game?
The way we set up, like in terms of tactics and the way we started the game off from the start, I think the fast start that we had over the last couple of games, I think we need to keep that at bay. And I think if we can get that early goal, like we did obviously against Brighton, that was a key part of winning that game for me personally, because Brighton had to. I think whenever you get a goal against a team who sit back, most of the time, then the manager has got to go to his team and say, right, we need to come out of this defensive shape and we need to obviously attack the team more if we want to get something out of the game. And I look at it from a Manchester United perspective. We've got the keys that can necessarily unlock the padlock in Fernandes and Pogba, who obviously can create a lot of chances for our forwards. But I think it's a case of, obviously, we need to put the chances away that we're gonna get, because we are going to create chances. That's not a problem. We are going to create chances. It's how many chances are we going to create for the attack, and can they be as clinical as they have been in recent weeks? And obviously, I think what you asked about the starting lineup. Personally, I think he'll keep the same. I think with Rashford, the problem with Rashford is he did get obviously the goal last week, which will give him a bit of confidence. Obviously, getting a goal in the back of the net, but it wasn't from open play, and I think that's something that he needs. He needs that goal, but I just think we've rushed him a bit. Might have rushed him back from injury. That was a serious back injury that he got, which kept him out for the rest of the season. But obviously, with the pandemic and everything that's happened, we've obviously been able to resume play with him and Pogba. But I think a player like Daniel James might be suited a little bit better to this game, and I think Rashford coming on at 70th minute when the fullbacks are a bit more tired and everything, and it can give him a bit more of a leap to say, well, if we, I don't know, say by the 70th minute, I don't know, we're 2 or 3-0 up, bring Rashford on. They're going to obviously have to go for it, and then we can pretty much play them on the counter-attack. And Rashford, obviously, this season, when we have played counter-attacking in games, has obviously been a crucial part to that. And so I think the only change I'd probably make to what you said about the starting 11, I do think Bailly will start at centre-back with Maguire. So I think that'll only be that, and I would probably, if I was in Ole Gunnar, I'd probably play Daniel James, because I think Rashford just needs that bit of a rest or something, and then he can come on in a crucial part of the game, at the end of the game, and maybe snatch a goal for his confidence or something. Personally,
yeah, I think that forward line is definitely it's a debate. It's a position. Well, it's 3 positions really, which are very much. There's a debate there. There is. I think Daniel James.
There's competition.
Exactly. Yeah. Competition.
And you add a player like Sancho into the mix, that even makes it more. There's more competition there for places.
Oh, 100%.
And I look at, like, when, say, Igalo's coming. Yeah, we brought Igalo in to obviously play, as the backup striker, but it's obviously maybe give Martial the kick up the arse to say, I think you need to obviously get your scoring boots on and start getting some goals in the back of net and providing for the team, because people do call Martial lazy and stuff, and he needs to, have a bit more team spirit and play for the team, not for himself. And I do think in recent weeks he has shown a lot better, play for the team, and I think that's obviously with Bruno Fernandes coming in. Bruno Fernandes is the what's the word? It's like the perfect showman of what a sportsman is and what a team player is. Yeah. It's like a team player. If he sees the goal in front of, like, he's clean through on goal and he's got Rashford to his left, he won't shoot. He'll pass the ball. That's how I see it. He'll benefit his other teammates rather than benefiting it from himself. And I think that's why Fernandes is rated so highly for me. Not just because he's in it for himself, he's in it for the team. And they're like I said last week when I come on the show and I called in. We've got players who put that United shirt on, who want to play with pride and who actually want to play for Man United now. And there's talks, I'm not sure if you actually heard about it or anything. Apparently, with Paul Pogba's contract negotiation, he's reportedly very happy, and not for at least 2 months I've not heard anything about his agent is against and looking for a move away from Manchester United.
True, yeah.
I think, Mino Raiola's obviously played a massive part in Pogba's career, obviously, bringing him back from Juventus and then obviously keeping him on at United. I don't think the agent's going to stand in the player's way. At the end of the day, Paul Pogba plays on the field. His agent's just the person who sorts out his negotiations and what he wants money-wise and bonus-wise. That's the only real thing that Mino Raiola can do. He can't force a player to leave a football club that he might want to stay at. And the messages that I'm seeing from Paul Pogba is that he particularly enjoys playing with this United team, and that you can see that the team is being built around him, and that's obviously making him feel a lot more confident in the team and wanting to possibly stay. And there's a lot of talks, reports saying that in terms of Paul Pogba wanting to stay at Manchester United, that's not even, wrong news. It's clear he wants to stay at Manchester United. He's happy with the team, and it's just that it's on United's terms. It's not a case of money, because he only wants probably about an extra 100k to his contract already. So I don't think money's the problem. You get rid of a player like Sanchez, there's 500k to go and chuck at players to maybe give him a boost on the wages, and you can sign Paul Pogba up for another 5 years. And with the way Pogba's played recently, he played a massive part in getting the point, obviously, against Spurs, coming off the bench and everything. And the partnership he's built with Fernandes has been crucial, because not only do we have one creative player, we have 2 sitting there now. And like I've said to a lot of people, when you look at the front 5, I talk about it as a front 5 because Paul Pogba is an attacking player. He's not a defensive player. He's an attacking player. So you've got Rashford, Martial. You could add Sancho into the mix maybe in the summer, but we'll stick with Greenwood for now. How many players are in the starting 11? Well, 11 players. So 5 and 11, that's half of your team. How can you man mark 5 players, so basically half of the opposition's team, for 90 minutes straight? It's not possible.
Yeah, 100%.
And any one of them players that I've just mentioned, Sancho if you want to include him, Grealish if you want to include him, any one of them players is capable of creating chances or scoring goals. And that's the thing. A team like Liverpool, and they ran out Liverpool as the best team in the league and the best team in Europe, do you honestly think that at least 5 of their players, so you take their 4 defenders and you might take their defensive midfielder in Fabinho, do you really think them 5 players are going to stop every single one of Manchester United's players? Or you take the 5 from City? I don't see it happening. I honestly don't see it happening. And this is what, a lot of fans are getting excited about, is the future prospect of this club is suddenly it's been turned around in a year and a half. A year and a half ago, we was in the gutter thinking, this club's probably about 5 or 6 years away from getting anywhere near where, our rivals are. But suddenly, Ollie's come in, he's spent a bit of money. He's probably going to spend a bit more money this summer. And that's what it boils down to, really, is development and money. And obviously, we talk about we need to go out there and buy younger players, to replace, say, the older players such as Matic in the team, which, I do think that's an option. But you look at our academy at the moment, like youth players and stuff, I don't particularly think we've got bad options there, to be honest with you. We've got a young centre-back coming in, like I said last week, in Tendar Menji. We've got Hannibal, who I said about last week, to come in as a creative player. And obviously people talk about we need to sign a CDM and everything. Why not give James Garner a chance? He's a young player. He can learn from a title-winning player in Matic. You've got to think, Matic has won Premier League titles at Chelsea. He's won major trophies at United. He won the Europa League and everything. So nobody can really criticise him to say, Matic, he's passed it, he's done this, he's done that. Not necessarily, because younger players can learn from experienced players like him.
Well, look, listen, I think, you made a lot of good points there, but I think that what we've got at Manchester United is no doubt very, very exciting, very, very exciting times, and I'm looking forward to the future, and I think if we can add a few more players into that'd be absolutely fantastic. But
it's a chemistry for success.
Exactly.
That's just how I see it.
No, I think a lot of United fans would agree with what you said. Finally, just quickly, what is your score prediction for the game tomorrow?
Well, like I said, I don't think you can man-mark a player like Grealish out of the game for 90 minutes, so I'll probably say that they will get a goal. I think it's going to have a similar approach to the Brighton game, but you've obviously got bigger threats like Grealish and McGinn and stuff in there. I'll go for a 3-1. I think Martial will get on the score sheet. I think Greenwood will get on the score sheet again. And I'll go for a surprise one. I think Maguire will get on the score sheet. Just because of with the set pieces. I think a stat came up. I think it was the Liverpool Aston Villa game. I think it was Aston Villa have been the 3rd worst team this year from set pieces, and obviously you've got tall players in there like Maguire and who can obviously get a goal from the air. You've got a player like Fernandes who can stick the ball to his head. I think obviously that's going to be a threat going forward for us tomorrow.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to it. I'll take a 3-1 all day long. But yeah.
Yep.
Brilliant points as always, mate. Thank you for coming on. Really appreciate it. And
no problem.
Yeah, cheers for coming on, mate. And always welcome. Yep. Hopefully, if I'm doing something after the game, as I said, always welcome to call in and have your say.
Yep, no problem, mate. All right then. Take care, brother.
Cheers. See you later, man. There you go. There is Tom's opinion there. And as Daryl says, very interesting opinions. Yeah, very interesting opinions. As always, in Football Crew Show, as I said, you can never be late. You can never be late for this stream. But thanks for joining Football Crew Show. Really appreciate it. Says, I'm sorry I'm late for your stream. Looking forward to the match tomorrow. Hoping for a 2-1 win. Bruno and Greenwood to score again. As I said, I'm going for a similar prediction almost. I'm going for a 2-0 win. Rashford and Bruno to get the goals in that one. Edwin is hyped. Edwin is hyped for the game. I think we all are. As Manchester United fans right now, if you're not hyped, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing. If you're not hyped for any of our games right now, the way we're playing football, I haven't seen us play this sort of football in ages. I really haven't. But now we've got the man, the myth, the legend himself. It's Daryl Johnson. Of course you know who he is by now. It's Daryl Johnson from Daz's Football Stand. Daz, how are you doing, mate? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Very much.
Good to hear, mate. Good to hear. I heard that Middlesbrough...
Over the moon with the Borough result today.
I was just about to say, I heard Middlesbrough got the job done today, so obviously that's a great thing for you.
The bonus for the family, I suppose.
Yeah, true. But obviously, Manchester United have to get the job done tomorrow to complete the set. And talking about that game, I asked Tom the same question. How do you see the game planning out? And how do you think we need to go about it to beat Aston Villa tomorrow?
I think it'll be a tough game. I know a lot of people are saying that United will win this comfortably and absolutely annihilate them or something like that. And I'm sorry, but I disagree with the United fans that say we're going to annihilate them and we should win this very comfortably. Because there's no games that you could say that are going to be easy in the Premier League. Yeah, we beat Bournemouth very comfortably, but we had a couple of scares there because we didn't turn up at the start of the second half for starters, and of course conceded a pretty cheap goal, really, by United standards. Yep. And you're talking about an Aston Villa side who can easily nick goals. They can easily nick goals off teams. And okay, at the minute they're not going to survive realistically, I don't think. But they're a side who need points for survival, and they're not going to go down without a fight. They're not, trust me. Okay, the last two games they've played, they've not scored goals, but they've nicked goals against bigger teams. They've nicked goals against Chelsea. You know, they got a goal at home to Chelsea. They got a goal at Newcastle, got a point there. You know, this season they've been known for popping up with a few goals. And as you said earlier in the stream, they caused a few problems at Old Trafford, got themselves a draw. And I think it's the likes of Jack Grealish, the likes of Douglas Luiz, Mabrana Samatta as well. The likes of those players, they're the main players we need to really man-mark. If you don't man-mark those players and you give them time on the ball and give them enough room, you know, they're going to fancy it. They're just going to go, oh, okay, I've got a bit of space here. Why not have a crack? Because that's exactly what happened at Norwich in the FA Cup, where we gave, I can't remember who it was who actually scored for them.
Cantwell, I think.
It was Todd Cantwell. Yeah, I'd forgotten his name already. But you know, and I was saying on my stream when that goal went in, I'm thinking you can't give players like that much time on the ball. If you do that, they're going to fancy their chances, and you know they can easily pop up with goals. We need to be careful against Aston Villa and make sure that we play the game professionally, that we don't try and sit back on a 1-goal lead if we even get the 1-0 lead. That is, we're going to have to be cautious because Aston Villa are going to try and they're going to defend for their lives against United. So they'll fancy their chances. They've nicked goals against Leicester, nicked goals against other big teams. So, you know, the fact that people are saying that we're gonna beat them 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, someone put 7-1. But the fact people are saying that, I'm sorry, but I don't think it'll happen realistically. I think if we're going to win, it's going to be a tight one.
Yeah, I think it's not going to be that simple. I think that Aston Villa, with Grealish in the team, if we don't deal with him properly, it could be very difficult. And also, on the break, they looked decent against Liverpool. They just didn't have that cutting edge, but they were decent. They were getting at Liverpool on the break, and Liverpool definitely have a better defence than we do. So we've got to look out for that. A few people want to mention, by the way, Edwin says he says anything can happen in football. Exactly, mate. Exactly, anything can happen.
Thank you.
Brother Gaming says any chance I could get on. I don't have Skype though. Thanks for joining, mate. Appreciate it. Well, I'm using Skype at the moment. If you have Discord, you can try and get on as well. But if you don't have that, then I don't have anything else to get you on, unfortunately. And Liam's asking what Daz your prediction is. I'll ask him that in just a second, Liam. Don't worry about that. And Edwin also says first goal is always crucial. As long as we get that, I see us hanging on the lead and scoring one or more goals. Look, the first goal is definitely really important, especially in these games which can be cagey. So I think it's a very, very good point from Edwin there. But I asked Tom this question. I'm going to ask you, Daz, as well. In terms of team selection for the game, would you change anything from the way Ole chose or the way we lined up against Bournemouth?
I wouldn't say so, really. I thought the team against Bournemouth, I thought the team selection was strong. When I saw the lineup, I'm thinking, this is a game we realistically could win. I've criticised him, but it'd be interesting to see Bailly start instead of him coming off the bench. Having said that, it's a bit of a risk given what he did against Bournemouth. But apart from that, I was interested by reason I was saying interesting points made by Tom when he was on the call was he mentioned the younger players like James Garner and co. And I'm thinking, this is the sort of game that you'd expect Ollie to play the youngsters in, and the likes of Lask Linz. But realistically, this is a game that we could so easily drop points in. Because we've been known for dropping points against newly promoted sides. We've done that against Brighton many times. And, of course, Bournemouth away has always been a tricky ground. And Aston Villa are a team that we've beaten many times. I don't think I'd really change the lineup, though. I think I would say, if I was going to play the younger players and all the reserve players, I would say maybe not this game, maybe wait till... Because it's pretty tight at the top in the top four race now. So you've got Leicester 159, we're 155. We can close the gap to 1 point if we win. So I wouldn't risk it in this game because I think there's too many points up for grabs. I would save them for the Linz game because the job's already done anyway against them practically. That's the sort of game that you can play. The B team, probably even the C team, you can probably play the National League squad against them and they'd still beat them. But I would save those younger players and reserve players for the Linz game. I wouldn't risk them in the Premier League realistically. It's not. I'm not saying it because I don't have faith in them. I do have faith in them. They've got a lot of upcoming prospect in them. I just think playing them in the Premier League when we've got this game and then we've got 4 games left to try and get into the top 4, I think it'd be too risky.
Yeah, I think you're right. This game is massive. This game is absolutely massive for us. If we fail to beat Aston Villa, top four is looking on a night. It's not looking safe. It really isn't. If we get the win, obviously we're not in the top 4. But if we do get the win, obviously, as you said, you were 1 point off Leicester. And for me, I think Leicester probably will drop points towards the end of the season. I don't think they're at the races at the moment, and I feel like they will drop points before our game. But also, if we continue to win, as I said earlier in the stream, we will continue to have top 4 in our own hands, and that is the main thing. We need to keep top 4 in our own hands. And I said I wouldn't change too much about the lineup. I really wouldn't. I think why would you change something that's a winning formula that's working? And yeah, I think I'd save the young players for the for the Europa League. Yeah, as you said, for the Europa League. I think that's a good suggestion.
Exactly.
I mean, we're 5-0 up on aggregate. I don't even know why we're even playing that game, especially with the congestion of fixtures. It's a bit of an annoying game for us considering we already know we're through, but we can just play our B or C team, as you said, Daz, and get through there. Liam says 4-0 United is his prediction. Greenwood, Rashford, Martial and Bruno to score. I mean, that would be a beautiful, beautiful game. But again,
I mean, if we play like we did at Brighton, then maybe, but
yeah.
I mean, we've played well. We've been playing well since lockdown. I mean, we haven't lost, have we, since...
No.
Oh, goodness knows. I can't remember the last time we actually lost a game. It's been that long.
Yeah.
But I say, who gives a crap about that?
Yeah, I know, exactly.
Burnley, actually, at home, I think was the last time.
Oh, yeah, it might have been.
But,
yeah. You just got, well,
you know,
as I said, right now, you just got to think about the winning run. You got to think about keep winning and winning and winning.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Leicester City's remaining fixtures because we mentioned Leicester. We've got them on the last game of the season.
Yeah.
Now that is going to be the crucial game because we were talking about Leicester possibly dropping points. I mean, they've got Bournemouth, who realistically they're not going to lose against.
No.
Sheffield United, they got Sheffield United and Tottenham, and then United. So they've got some tough games. Chelsea have got Wolves on the last game of the season. So I think it's going to come down to last game of the season, which decides who finishes in top four and who doesn't. Because if we win the next two games, we could move up to third if results go our way. So it's so tight. It's so tight at the top. Like Chelsea on 60 points, and they're not even that safe. They're only like 10 points off Arsenal, and we're only 5 points off Arsenal. So you can't take every game for granted. Just have to go one game at a time, I suppose. And games like this, the one that you really have to be winning if you're going to finish in the top four. And I want to mention there's another one, Tom's point again, which made me think, because there's people saying that Manchester United are going to be a club that aren't going to win the Premier League or win trophies for a good few years. This year, could be different. I mean, we're not going to win we obviously can't win the Premier League title. And a lot of people at the start of the season, I predicted us to finish sixth, which is still possibly happening. But if we can finish in top four, then I think, with it being Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first season, I think he's done very, very well. And he's done well to actually get us to this point. And I think, and I know we can't be relying on individuals, but I think the main players that have, got us in this position, Bruno Fernandes for starters. I mean, what a superb start he's had at Manchester United. Paul Pogba has proved himself this season. You got Martial and Mason Greenwood, believe it or not. I know, and yes, Rashford's had a decent season, but his form recently hasn't been top quality, really, has it?
No.
And I think tomorrow, I want to see Mason Greenwood playing. But I'm still not too certain about having him as a right winger. Because I think thing is, Daniel James has got more experience on the right-hand side. I'd like to see us play maybe a different formation and maybe play two strikers. And you've got Mason Greenwood and Tony Martial. So play maybe a 4-4-2 and then, 4-4-2 is a bit risky really, but it's the old-fashioned way. But you've got Martial and Greenwood as the two forwards. You've got Rashford at left mid, which is where he normally is, because that's his position. And then you can put Dan James on. Now, I know a lot of people haven't been too impressed with him, but I like James because he's one who can get a ball into the penalty area, and he's got a good burst of pace. You've got pace going down the left and right hand side of midfield, and then you've got the two strikers who can finish off the job.
Yeah.
If it was me, I'd play the 4-4-2. Yeah.
It's an interesting one. No, it's an interesting one. It's an interesting one. I don't think anyone really has. I don't think anyone's really suggested a different formation, but maybe it's the way to go, especially against Aston Villa. Just want to say hello to Louise Crane, who is apparently a Leicester fan, which is always good to have people from the opposite side as well on the stream. Thanks for finding the stream. Obviously, you've come onto well, I would say enemy territory, but we don't really have a rivalry against Leicester. But still, hopefully, obviously, we're a bit of a top 4 rival at the moment. So obviously, we hope you drop points. I mean, to be fair, I mean, I'll tell you what. Actually, it'd be nice if we could both finish in the top 4 and Chelsea miss out. So actually, in some ways, I'd rather Chelsea miss out than you, to be honest. But I mean, I'm guessing it's a she. She says, hoping Man United lose. Yeah, so there you go. That's basically her message there. Well, I mean, look, you can't blame her for that, really. Obviously, for Leicester, it'd be a big result for them, because obviously, if we beat Aston Villa tomorrow, we go 1 point behind you, and I think, as well as Dad said, you've got to play Spurs and you've got to play Sheffield. I think realistically, and you've got to play us as well. Realistically, you're going to drop points.
And Sheffield United just beat Wolves.
Yeah, exactly.
Which was helpful for us.
Yeah, that was a big result.
Helpful for all of us, really.
It was a big result, and if realistically, I think we all know you're going to drop points in at least one of those 3 games. So I think if we win tomorrow, that is why it's a massive victory considering the results that have happened this weekend. Hersey says if 5th becomes a Champions League place, 6 points clear against Wolves. I think Lingard needs his position back and Bruno on the bench. Well, I'll tell you what, that is a bold claim. A bold claim. Jesse Lingard coming back into the side. That would be ridiculous. That would be mental. Lingard coming back in, but yeah. But yeah, I know. Listen. Asian Gamer as well. Thanks for joining, Asian Gamer. Appreciate it. My score prediction 2-0. 2-0. I'm going to be asking Daz as well his score prediction in just a second. But to be fair, I can't remember the last time we've seen Lingard in a United shirt. Did he play against Spurs? Or no, he played against Norwich, I think. But yeah, I can't remember the last time.
And we could be going back a while.
Exactly.
Could be going back a while.
But Daz, just before. I'm probably going to wrap up the stream soon anyway, but just before we do, I want to ask you your score prediction. Obviously, Asian Game has just jogged my memory there. But Dad, what is your score prediction for the game? And if you can, who do you think is going to be scoring?
I mean, it's a tough one. Just thinking about the way it played at Norwich.
All right,
the other week. No, I don't know really, because it's the sort of game that Non-United would drop points. And it's, and obviously Lindelof's possibly questionable as well. We've got no other new injury news, and Aston Villa will be missing a few big players like Wesley and co. So I think we'll win, but I think it'll be tight. I don't see us keeping a clean sheet for some daft reason. I'm going to say Villa 1, United 2.
Just getting the win.
Who's going to score, though?
Who do you reckon?
Who's going to score, though, is a question. I think Martial will continue his good form. I'm hoping he scores another banger like he did against Bournemouth. That was a great goal.
Wouldn't be bad, would it?
No, it wouldn't be, would it? People are going to be very, very surprised about this, because this is a bit of a questionable one. It's not Harry Maguire. Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't know why I think this. I think, given the fact that he's known for getting balls into the penalty area and getting chances, no idea why I think this. I wouldn't want Bazaka.
I tell you what, I like that. I like that prediction. It's different. I like it. I mean, he's created a lot of goals, but we've never really seen him get one in the back of the net. I'll tell you, I like that prediction, Daz. I like it. I like what you're thinking. I like what you're thinking.
Yeah, indeed.
But yeah, obviously, all that matters is the win in the end of the day. You just need to get 3 points and get over the line, really. It's probably... This is probably one of our biggest games of the season tomorrow. It really is. And on paper, we should get the job done, but it's never that easy. As Edvin said and as Daryl said, anything can happen in football. Anything can happen. But Daz, thank you so much for coming on the call. Really appreciate it as always. Make sure you check out Daz's football stand as well. Really, really good stuff on there. But yeah, thanks, Daz. Really appreciate it. And maybe we'll talk tomorrow, and hopefully we talk up after a really good result. Thanks for coming on, man.
Hey, cheers, bud. See you in a bit.
See you, Daz. There you go. That was Daz from Daz's football stand. Make sure you check him out if you haven't already. Marco Ramos, thanks for joining. I wasn't able to see your comment, mate. I wasn't able to see what you put. So because you deleted it. But yeah, thanks for joining, Marco. Really appreciate it, mate. Really appreciate it. Louis says start Lingard. We need him to start so Jesse up for the game for United. Yours says I dislike Maguire. Glad you took him off us. We discovered a gem in Soyuncu's better. I think there's a lot of people, I'm not going to lie, who would agree with you, Louise. There's a lot of people who would agree with you. A lot of people, because Maguire, since the restart, hasn't been up to it, I'm afraid. He's made quite a few mistakes. He's been alright, but he hasn't been up to standard that we saw at the start of the season and when he's played his best football for Manchester United this season. He hasn't been up to it, and he's been caught out. It just hasn't been good. It hasn't been a good restart for Harry Maguire. It really hasn't. So a clean sheet is really, really important for him. Really, really important. But at this moment in time, I think not a lot of people could disagree with you, Louise. Not a lot of people could. I think Soyuncu, I think you could say he's better. You could say he's better, definitely. Liam says, you think Villa will score, Daz? Are you mental, mate? Villa are awful. They won't score. Famous last words, Liam. Famous last words. You never know. You never know. True Devils, welcome to the stream, man. Thanks for joining. I'm just about to end, man, but don't worry about it. Honestly, do not worry about it. The fact you turned up anyway is amazing. Thank you so much for joining, True Devils. And thank you to everyone for joining the stream as well. Even if you've just joined now or joined at the start, it doesn't matter. The fact that you clicked on the link or came to watch anyway is so humbling to me. So thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it. My prediction, just before I go, is a 2-0 win to Manchester United with Rashford and Bruno Fernandes getting on the score sheet. But the 3 points is all that matters. We need this 3 points. It's a massive, massive game. We cannot come out of this game with anything but a win. And it's going to have to be the same for the rest of the season. And I think we are going to win this game. I'm hopeful for the game. Rashford and Bruno. United, pull this one out of the bag, please. Please, let's do this. Let's continue the run of form. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. I'm so psyched for the game. Hopefully you guys are as well. Make sure you check out Dazza as well. Dazza's football stand if you aren't already. Really, really good stuff on there. But anyway, guys, I'm going to end it there. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Please like, subscribe to the channel if you are new as well. And I'll see you guys soon.